think my package came. I guess you can't see it here. Okay. Oh my goodness. If you knew what just happened. Man, this is gonna be quite a vlog.
Oh, there you are, kittens, waiting for me? Yeah, you always want a kiss when I come home. You're the sweetest thing in the whole world.
This door's so weird, as you know why. Yep, package. I can't even believe it. I don't even know if I should even talk about it, okay? And on the day I finally decided to order a brand new perfume, because I haven't been doing that. Macy's was having their sale, and so I really wanted the new Burberry Goddess. So I'll wait until I'm feeling better to do an unboxing for you. Okay. I'm just gonna be raw with this because that's all you can do in this type of situation, and my glasses might be really messed up because I was almost murdered today. My parents had to try to fix this because this was broken off, and this is all, and I'm sure I look absolutely disgusting. I haven't slept in probably over 24 hours because of this. I can't believe it happened again. I just can't. It's so embarrassing. Like, I'm so embarrassed because I don't want anyone thinking like this has anything to do with me. I just think I'm like a target to like really bad people, just because I'm alone and I'm kind and I feel for people, you know. I want to help people and do what's best. Anyways, I was trying to get to know this new guy, someone you guys haven't met, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to introduce any new guys to this because of what happened before. And crazily, if that's even a word, it's happened again. This time it's gonna go differently. I almost died today. I seriously almost got murdered. I'm stalling, I'm sorry, I know, it's stupid. I can't even believe it happened. I'm like in still disbelief. I was getting to know this guy, and he's kind of known in Portland, so I don't want to say his name on here or like hint too much at who he is, because anyone from Portland might be able to figure out who he is. And I'm sure he's already building up some awful story about me, trying to spread it around to make me look uncredible. You know, that's what all these crazy people do. I'm sure that he has antisocial personality disorder, which is a psychopath. I'm sure of it. I saw the exact same things with this person as I did the other person. And if you follow me, you know who I'm talking about. And I'm still dealing with that situation. I feel crazy. This is awful. So this new guy, he had been weird a lot. And I'm lonely, okay? But not lonely like I used to be. It's a different type of lonely now after dealing with psychos. And you know how much I want to have someone in my life, and it's so hard to meet anyone I like. It just, how people are these days and how everything is, it's just almost feels impossible. And so you want to latch on to who you do meet, even if you're seeing red flags and you're going, oh, okay, if I had someone else, I'd probably pick someone else over this person, but there's no one else, you know, just sad like that. And I know I'm not the only person that does stuff like that. So I had made all this corned beef and homemade potato salad. I was gonna make Reuben sandwiches. And, you know, I made a lot and it's just me, so I wanted to be nice and bring some over to him. And I know he works really late and, you know, he doesn't have a car right now and he's living in a small studio apartment in Portland and he's not doing so good. And so I wanted to bring some of this food over and I thought like, oh, he's gonna be so happy, right? There was something so different in his voice yesterday and I noticed it, but I didn't want to ask because I didn't know like he was getting sick or what it was, but there was like a different weird aura tone thing going on. I can't really pinpoint it, but I definitely noticed something different. He said I could pick him up from work. He got up at 11:30 at night and then he wanted to quickly get back to his place. He wanted to take a bath and, you know, I was gonna heat up the food and get everything, you know, because it's supposed to be a hot sandwich, you know, Reubens are supposed to be warm. And so I was waiting, and he was in the bathroom for like over an hour and a half, which is really, really weird, especially when you have company over. And he was texting me from the bathroom and stuff, and I asked, like, can I come in and use the restroom? And he said I raised my voice and I was disrespecting him in his own house. And I jokingly said, well, if you're not gonna let me in, I'm gonna pee on your floor. It was a joke. That triggered him, that made him so angry. He swings the door open, he's naked. And it just started this whole fight. And he told me that he was gonna throw me out the window. We're in a 3-story spot with, you know, cement down there, a sidewalk. So I'm like, I'm gonna die if I'm thrown out the window or paralyzed or something. And he opened up the window and he started grabbing me like he was seriously, I could see it in his face. I could see in his face he was gonna do it. And it was just like he was not himself. He was transformed into a demon. And I've seen this before, but this time it was a little bit different. A little bit different. It wasn't, the eyes weren't as crazy as the other person, but it still was there. And this person's like tall. Okay, this is a really tall, athletic person. So I really don't stand a chance, you know, and I'm a girl and they're a guy and all kinds of stuff. So I dropped to the floor and I started crawling across the floor and he grabbed me like this, sort of squeezing my nose. I couldn't breathe. I was clawing on the floor. He was on top of my back. I thought I was gonna die. He said, how dare I disrespect him in his own home, this whole thing about his own home, and then trying to say I was yelling, but I wasn't yelling, you know. And then I'm like, well, why does someone need to sit in their bathroom for an hour and a half when you have company? That's just weird. And part of me goes, well, I guess I should have left, but then like, was I really going to be able to leave after all this that came about? And I had blood coming out of my mouth. My makeup's trash because I literally just got home from this whole situation. Like, my head is still spinning from this. And, you know, thankfully, but not thankfully, I already have experience with dealing with crazy people trying to attack me and murder me, which is not something I'm proud of. I laugh because I'm uncomfortable. I laugh because of how awful it is. I don't laugh because it's funny. And then I'm finding myself like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? But then I know it's not me, because no one deserves that. And it's from knowing the other person, I know that the rage lasts for hours and hours and hours and they can't calm themselves down. So I knew I was in for it for a long time. And I'm in this tiny studio apartment on the 3rd floor. And I'm exhausted and he won't let me pee, so I'm holding it. And, you know, after a while you start feeling sick from not being able to go to the bathroom and just screaming and yelling. And, you know, I wanted to leave, so I tried to leave and I picked up the containers with the food in it and my bag that I had brought, and he goes, no, you're not going to take that food, that's my food, that's for me. And the anger of me trying to take the food was intense. So it was like the combination. I know, creature. He can tell something's wrong. I needed to come back and be with him, you know. Anyways, I don't want to like go into like everything with all the awful things he was saying to me, but it was like he was trying to say, you know, this is all my fault, I asked for this, I need to apologize. And then when I apologized, he didn't like the apology, it wasn't good enough, and it wasn't a real apology, you know, even though I know how to really apologize. And I tried to make it sound as sincere as possible, but the whole time I'm going, he really might just knock me out. He could just kill me right here, and I don't want this to be the last thing, you know, in my life. And you know, I felt like I was in a movie, like I often do, and you know, I'm like, oh no, how long am I going to be held here? But I knew he had to go to work in the afternoon, so I'm like, maybe he won't miss work. And today's Sunday, so he knew I had to see my parents. And then I tried to scare him, saying, well, you know, my parents are going to start calling and wondering why I'm not there. And then he took my phone away from me and started holding the phone out the window, saying he was going to throw it down and smash it, and it was going to hit the pavement and smash. Then he said he was going to take my bag and throw it out there onto the street. And I had my camera in my bag, and I knew my camera was going to break. And I'm thinking, great, I'm going to lose my phone, my camera, and everything else because I needed to use the restroom. And it was just no winning, and I knew there was no winning. And it was just like, he like crawled up the bed. He made me sit on the bed. Like I wasn't allowed to get off the bed. I couldn't go to the bathroom, but I had to sit on the bed. He crawled up the bed so creepy, like a gremlin or something. It was weird, and the way he was talking was so weird. And it was like a lot of breathiness, like, well, you know, yeah, this is what you're gonna do, like weird like that. And I'm like, oh my god. So I tried to keep it together. I didn't scream, I didn't run, I didn't do anything, because I know that just triggers them and makes them go harder. So I tried to keep it together, but after 12 hours I started crying. Okay, I started crying, and the really weird thing was, when I started crying, he started crying, and then he held me like a baby and started like cradling my head and like petting me like I was a child. And it was really odd, and it was like the crying made him not go as hard anymore. It's like that triggered him in some way that helped me out. And then he kept wanting to make sure that I wasn't going to tell the police, and I haven't told the police, and I'm not going to, because look what happened with the other situation. I'm still dealing with it years later. And I can't have two situations going, you know, that looks crazy, and it's the only way I got out. You know, he wasn't gonna let me go. And we're like in a dark room. He had like sheets over the windows, and there's like just little peaks of light coming through, you know, in the morning. And I'm going, am I gonna die today? Am I gonna die today? So the agreement was, I don't tell the police, and he can do whatever he wants to my phone. So I don't know what he did to my phone. I don't know if he put a tracking device on my phone. I don't know if he put a listening device on my phone. I don't know if that's possible. And he deleted stuff out of my phone. I know he deleted all of his phone numbers that I had and all his text messages. He deleted all of that stuff, saying he didn't want anyone to know that we knew each other. And he said he was going to try to make me look crazy, and he tried to force me to say all these things that weren't true, trying to make it sound like, to say I had a pot and I was swinging it around, that's why I ended up on the floor. It's like, that didn't happen. So he might have been recording it, I don't know, but I just agreed to everything. And then he gave me my stuff, and he was going through the phone, and I just said, you can have this food, since, you know, I really brought it for you, just have it. And it's like, if this is really a mental condition, and I feel a little bit sorry, but I can't, because I almost died. So I did I asked to give him a hug, I gave him a hug, and I said I didn't want things to be this way, and I wish you luck. And we both started crying. And he had the door open, so I grabbed my bags and I started walking down the hall. And the weird thing about this apartment building is it's a really long hall, and at the end they always have the doors opened at the end. And it was so bright outside, all this light was coming in, and it was like I was walking towards freedom, like it was a movie. And I came down this really old metal staircase outside and almost slipped and got in my car, and I'm walking around to the car like, did I really just get away from this? And then I went to my parents' house and I told them, and we're not going to call the police. You know, you can't trust the police anyways, and look what they do nothing. Like, I'm not even sure they care, which they don't, obviously, because you don't act like this if you care. It's a job. That's all it is a job. Lots of things are disguised as people trying to help you, but they're really just businesses. You know, police are a business, hospitals are a business. You know, disguised as trying to help you. Yes, they do help you in some situations, but it's benefiting them too. So, anyways, I still haven't slept, and I'm like running off adrenaline. I feel crazy. So do I get in the shower and then go to bed, or do I just lay down? I don't know. I just wanted to cuddle with Creature. But I think I'm handling it pretty well. I'll probably lay down and start crying and all that. I just feel like it's never ending. So I don't know what's gonna happen now. But he did call me. He called me private, and he was trying to get me to say it's my fault. But you could hear that weirdness in his voice, and I asked him if he was manic. And there's like a pause and a hesitation, like he knows I know. I don't know. But he hasn't slept either, so he probably fell asleep. That's probably why he isn't obsessively trying to get a hold of me. So that was my day. Great. I'm getting better at handling really bad situations, can you tell? Like, I'm not crying. Let's see if there's any weird marks on me. They're weird marks. Part of it's just my makeup coming off, and I probably look awful, but yeah, how embarrassing. Stupid. Okay. Well, Creature, you're gonna comfort me, right? You're gonna be there for me? Yeah. Okay. Alright, let me try to pull myself together here. Well, I just woke up. I've only slept a few hours. Let's see. Yeah, it's 6:48, October 1st. So I did decide to take a shower, then lay down. I have no makeup on. I feel really weird. My neck's sore all around the back of it. My whole body's sore. I feel like I'm in a dream. You know, there's still that self-doubt thing going on for me. I'm not as confused as I was last time with the other person, because I realize it's a mental condition. At least I think it has to be. I've been woke up here trying to think of the similarities between the two of them. Weird similarities. They both like to take long baths. They both have this thing about having to take a long bath, which I think is kind of odd for a guy, to be honest with you.
So I don't know what the long bath thing is about. Not that that's some great evidence. They both, when they're mad, seem to be not themselves or possessed with a demon, or it's like, you know, they're in a trance almost. And it's like it starts to wear off. Like I could see it wear off. And then it's like they're starting to come back, and it's not clear that they can even remember what fully happened. I wonder if they're in such a rage that they can't remember, but I don't know. I've been doing a lot of research about psychopaths, narcissists, sociopaths, and they're all not the same thing. But they're similar in a lot of ways. And I wish someone had told me about these conditions when I was a teenager, because it would have saved me a big headache. I have recently learned that the reason why so many things didn't make sense to me with relationships or even friends or even just acquaintances was because they were gaslighting me. And I had no idea what that was. And I even wonder if certain family members had done that to me. You know, the thing that was interesting about the videos I've watched about narcissists, psychopaths, and psychopaths are born that way. And they don't feel love. They don't even know what love is, but they know they have to imitate it. Sociopaths are created. So they probably went through some sort of trauma to make them that way. And narcissists, usually it's some sort of trauma as well. And they can actually recover from it, from what I saw. So here's the meme I found that really explains gaslighting. And I think this qualifies for all the conditions. A narcissist doesn't want to discuss their actions. They want to provoke your reactions so they can use your reactions as distractions from their actions. Which is exactly what's been happening to me with lots of people for years. This is why I was confused about things in high school, because I kept self-doubting, just like they want you to. Did I do something wrong? Did I hear that wrong? Did that not really happen? They want that. I looked up how common a psychopath is, and it said it was like practically 2% of the population, which is a very low, but yet why have I now met 2 of them? Man, like, it is just the people out here in Portland, Oregon. I'm telling you, be careful. I mean, be careful anywhere, obviously, but there is something seriously wrong with people. It doesn't even make any sense. It's like they want to destroy your whole life. And you don't do anything. Like, I literally just wanted to use the restroom. I had to pee. Something completely normal. And then he wanted to punish me for needing to go to the bathroom? I mean, I thought I was going to pass out alone from just holding my bladder. You know? And then I thought, what's going to happen if I pee myself? Is he going to beat me? And then what if I really do pass out? Is he going to throw me out the window? And he had me in the corner there on the bed, and he has 2 brick walls in his apartment, and I just kept, and he got in my face a couple of times, like the devil, the eyes and the leaning down and the shaking. He was shaking, And the voice was so weird that I thought, oh my God, he's going to grab me and just start slamming my head into the side of this brick wall. And I'm just going to die, or I'm going to be so messed up, I'm just going to look deformed for the rest of my life or something like that. So I really was fighting for my life today. And for all those people that want to think, well, why didn't you run away? Why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you want it? Like, that's absolutely stupid thinking. I'm going to let you know right now. Everything happened so fast. Damn fast. There is no time to do anything. These people know what they're doing, and they know to go for the phone. They know to block the door. They know to threaten you so bad. They know to even get out, knives and things like that, and claim to slit your throat. They know this. And then they know to get rid of the evidence. They know to go in your phone and delete what they think you have on them, because they know they've left some crazy voicemail. They've both done it. They've both left crazy voicemails. Why do you do that? Isn't that stupid? Do you leave a voicemail about what you're going to do that's a crime before you do it? In your own voice? So there's evidence that you did this? I mean, why did they both do this? I mean, the voicemail I have of this new person is gone because he's erased all his phone numbers that he had, because he had multiple phone numbers, all kinds of stuff. I don't know if there's a way to recover any of it. But just imagining the backlash. And the other thing that's really strange is, like, a little while after, when I was leaving his place, and I had survived death, I guess. I feel so stupid saying that, but that's really what happened. I could have been thrown out the window and dead on the pavement. Or I could still be sitting in the room there, held against my will, and not being able to leave, not knowing when it's ever going to end. Somebody went and made a social media account pretending to be Lion, and then contacts me asking me how I'm doing. Lion is in prison. Now, I know that sometimes people in prison can get cell phones snuck in for them illegally. I do know that, so I didn't know if that was happening or not. But the person asked me how I am. I'm stupidly, because I was all upset and scared, and said that I had been held hostage and almost murdered, and then the person wrote something weird back about, oh, I hope you're okay now. It seemed very, fake. And then I said, show me this is really Lion. What do you call me? No response. Couldn't tell me. And this is why I think having little pet names or little silly names for each other that not everybody knows is a good idea. Because as soon as something like this happens, you go, okay, I don't believe it's you. What do you normally call me? And if they can't answer it, then it's not them, Or in the moment when something really, really bad happens. Let's say you're in the hospital or you're in jail, and you call somebody, and they just call you by your pet name, the feeling of comfort that comes over you immediately, because you're talking to somebody that really knows you, someone that really cares about you. So that's the other reason why I give people names like Lion, and Mr., because there's no denying when I say those things. And I have little phrases that I say only to them, and I'm not going to say them on here, but little cute little things when I'm being silly and flirtatious. So I don't know what he's plotting against me, but I'm going to definitely be documenting things And I don't know if he watches my YouTube channel. I'm going to assume he doesn't, since he's never quoted me on anything. And I would think he would. But I don't know. He's crazy. I mean, he's known me 9 years. He's been trying to get at me for 9 years. And he just really wasn't my type. And I just thought, okay, well, we're getting older and everything's weird. What's it gonna hurt answering this guy's message, after all this time? And we at first had a really great conversation, probably for 6 hours. I was shocked. I thought, when he convinced me to talk to him, it was just going to be a short little, well, hi, okay. Not interested, but I ended up starting to like him. Very interesting views on things I'd never thought of, and smart about computers and stuff like that. And I guess I let my guard down. But the thing he never did is he never love bombed me. He never tried to convince me of that. And he never made me feel that special. There was never this honeymoon phase. There was never this real, romantic. He wasn't sexual. He was very weird about sex. That was the other thing that was shocking, was you almost felt like he didn't want to, when it was hard for him to do it. But the other crazy person that we know about, he had unnatural sex drive. And it was scary. Waking you up out of your sleep, forcing you to have sex with him. And, he was going to be abusive and hit you if you didn't. And, trying to see how many times he could do it. And this new person wasn't like that about sex. So, I guess nobody's exactly the same. Why would they be? But I thought the sex thing was definitely going to be like a common thing with psychopaths. But maybe I was just on level 1. I just didn't meet all the other levels. Maybe he wasn't that comfortable with me yet. So if something weird goes down, or somebody starts saying something, or something's posted that's really out there, just don't believe it, because it's probably him. Because they get desperate to do whatever they can. Because they're very afraid of prison. They're very afraid of things like that. Even though they claim they're not. They are. The other thing is, I noticed that they're probably the saddest people inside ever. They hate themselves. They truly, truly hate themselves. And they think they're worthless. And I feel like putting other people down or controlling you or trying to hurt you makes them feel validated. It makes them feel important. And that's where they get that, feeling of confidence from. And they have to have it. If they don't have that, they have to be doing something like that to somebody regularly to feel alive, or they're important or something. That's what it seems like. And the fact that I've dealt with 2 people like this now, I can do a comparison, and I can now be a little bit more sure that this is part of the condition, because I can compare the 2 people. And I am interested in psychology and sociology. I took psychology and sociology in school, so I do know a little bit about it. And I always thought that stuff was interesting. So, as much as I'm not happy this happened, I'm trying to find the positive here. I'm trying to find, what can I get from this that's not, life-shattering? And the fact that I'm not crying right now, the fact that I'm calm, I think is a huge step in my healing. And I've been healing a long time, trying from this other person. I'm still not healed from that other person. I went through cycles of pain, of feeling worthless and crying and self-doubt, and I don't think I'm going to do that this time. I've already healed enough that I'm not going to do that again. I also think that I don't feel emotions the same way like I used to, and I actually think that's good. I think I might have been a little bit too emotional, and I took things really too seriously or too to heart when other people maybe didn't, and so it's kind of saved me in that way. But, man, laying here in the dark when I should be at my parents' house on a Sunday. This is ridiculous. I don't know how long I slept. Slowly things I'm remembering slowly more and more things that happened, you know. But I want to document this, put this out here just in case. You know, what if I really do get murdered? What if he plots against me? You know, I don't know. I have to protect myself as much as I can. So, those are my thoughts right now. So, oh, life, I tell ya. This is not a lesson I needed to learn again. This is not. So, all right.